Hello, you're welcome to Let's Talk with Chisom. Today we'll be talking about pain and all that. Pain, pressure, anxiety, worry. Why do we actually go through these things? So if this is your first time on my channel, I'm Chisom. Basically what we'll talk about is youth-related matters, life experiences, life issues, stuff like that, contemporary topics, but we look at it from a Christian perspective. Yes, so please, if you have not subscribed, please click the subscribe button. I think it's somewhere down here. I don't know if I'm getting my point right. Click the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up if you like this video as well. Yeah, so we're talking about wahala. Yeah, pain, pressure, anxiety, problems, whichever one it is. Different strokes for different folks. Yeah, so for some it's depression, for some it's anxiety, for some it's heartbreaks, for some it's divorce, for some it's childlessness, for some it's probably a business that is not functioning. I've had my own fair share of wahala. Yes, I've had my own fair share of wahala. I lost my mom at an early age. I lost my hubby at an early age. I've had to deal with living as a single mom, taking care of kids in Nigeria. It's difficult on its own. Then living in Nigeria is another stress on its own. Then living in Lagos is additional stress, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so we all have our own different versions of pain here and there. Whether you're big, whether you're small, whether you're high, whether you're mighty, whether you're rich or whether you're poor. So the question now is, why do we actually have to go through all this stress? Why does the Lord allow us to go through all this stress? Even Job, he was of the opinion that man is born unto trouble, even as sparks fly upwards. So it's like, you're just going to go through wahala, as in wahala no they finish. That's just life. You come out from one and then you step into another one, and it's just like that and like that. The question now is, why does the Lord make us go through all these challenges? Now, I would give us an example in the Bible with two kings that were anointed by God. One had to go through stress before he became the king, and the other one was just crowned. He had a very smooth ride to kingship and to glory and all that. So it's the story of King Saul and the story of King David. So we're looking at it alongside here. So King Saul was on his way to look for his father's donkeys that went missing. While he was on that journey, Samuel caught up with him and anointed him. He became the king of Israel. So that was it. A very smooth ride to glory and kingship. And that kind of story I did like, that kind of smooth ride. You just land into what the Lord has destined for you and all that. Very smooth ride, So that was the experience that Saul had. But on the other hand, David had plenty of wahala. Even when the same prophet Samuel went to anoint David in his father's house, even his dad himself no even believe, say, now David now ain't gonna be king. Nobody believed in him. That's why the father brought out every other person minus David. Is like, okay, that one, it can't be him. He's in the forest, wherever it is that he was, probably in the bush, tending to the sheep and feeding them and all that. It was when Samuel said, okay, among all your sons, the person way God don't crown as king, they hear. That's when the man said, oh, it's true, I do have another son. And then that was when they now brought David. As funny as it sounds, that was when David was now anointed king of Israel. But one would have thought, just like Saul, he would just ride smoothly into his kingship and all that. But no, he had to go through wahala. Even when he went to give his brothers food, the brothers looked down at him. Even when he fought Goliath, one would have thought that immediately after that fighting and the victory, he would become a celebrity and his life would just be moving smoothly. He's a liar. That was when David's wahala even started. I'm just imagining myself in David's shoes. I've been like, God, but this was not what you told me. You told me that I will be the king of Israel. So why am I going through this stress? Saul came for his life. Saul was after him. Saul wanted to kill him. At some point, he hid in the cave of Adullam. And vagabonds and people that were outcast, people that were rejected by their families, they were gathered onto him, like all of us, we did the same category. That kind of a thing. And they were in the cave of Adullam. It was a season in David's life, even at the point where he ran to the temples for shelter and he ate of the shewbread. When Saul heard about it, he came down and he slew the priests that were in the temple at the time. That was how much high in demand David's head was at the time. I'm sure Interpol was looking for him at that time. So David was having a hell of a time at that point in his life. Like, he was like, why am I going through this? Father, what did you tell me? This was not the prophecy, the thing you told me in the place of prayer. That prophecy that the man of God gave me, that's ministration. That time I was praying and you spoke to me, the dreams I've seen in the night. This is not what I saw. This is not what you told me. Why am I going through this? This is the opposite of everything that you have told me. This is the opposite of everything you have promised me. Why am I going through this thing? And That was where David was, and that's where most of us find ourselves. Like myself, after hubby died, I was like, okay, why am I here? Why did it not happen to somebody else? Why was it not probably, somebody I didn't know? Why would it be me? Why will I go through this? I had my life all sorted out, and now this. And when the Lord says we should glory in tribulation, it's for a reason. It's for a reason, because when you glory in tribulation, tribulation births patience, and patience births experience, and experience births hope, and hope maketh not ashamed. But let's take it back a little bit. Imagine myself in that situation where hubby just died, and now you're telling me I should glory in the fact that I lost my hubby. Brother, you are joking. It doesn't happen. It doesn't make sense. But that's basically it. If you've heard about the story of the diamond, how diamonds are formed, you know that diamonds are formed from a piece of charcoal. A simple piece of charcoal, like this one I have in my hand. Diamonds are formed from charcoal, but they go through so much pressure, they go through so much heat, and they are there for thousands or hundreds of years before they are transformed into the diamond that we all love. So that is exactly what it is. That is why the Lord allows us go through pain and go through tribulation. Now back to the story of David and Saul. Look at the story of Saul, how Saul ended up. Saul's reign was mad with so many errors. When he found out that David was going to become king, he even became furious. Or if there's anything like furious, there's no such thing. He even became furious, he became mad, and that was when he started looking for David's head on the platter. Basically, what I'm trying to say in essence is that whatever pain you're going through now, do not despise it. It's for a reason. The Lord is working something out in you. He's working out that diamond in you. The Lord is trying to convert you from that charcoal phase of your life to become the diamond that lives forever. Take for instance the story of Saul and David. Saul died the same day with his son. There was nobody to inherit the throne. But David, on the other hand, because of his work with God, God said to him, there would always be somebody on the throne, would always have an heir on the throne. And even after David died, God fulfilled that promise by bringing Jesus Christ. Jesus had to come through the line of David so that that promise, that prophecy will be fulfilled. And someone said to me that the fulfillment of one's destiny sometimes doesn't come in the person's lifetime. Sometimes it might come after the person is dead. That is when the fulfillment will actually come. You might be going through a phase in your life, just like Elisha when he was at the brook and the Lord would just send a raven to feed him. You know what a raven is? How much food can he carry? And then the Lord will send a raven to feed him, and then he was drinking the little water that was there from the brook, and little by little, and you're like, God, why won't you just give me food? After all, now your work I do, why am I going through all this stress? Yeah, sometimes we find ourselves in that phase, but I want you to know that it's a working process. The Lord will not have us be enthroned like Saul and damage ourselves. So that's why he will make us go through that process that he put David through. That was why he was able to bring out the best of David. That was why he was able to bring out that man that is after the heart of God. And David was able to give us so many wonderful psalms. David was able to set up the things that Solomon needed to build the best temple that Israel ever built. Now, that goes to tell you that diamonds are forever. I would rather become a diamond than become a charcoal, right? Charcoal, when you put it in the fire, it will just burn. On a more serious note now. But when do you find yourself in situations like this, when you don't understand what's going on and you don't understand why you're going through this? I just want you to have two things in mind. Number one, it's for a reason. Your reaction to the situation goes a long way to determine how you would come out of it. We have options. When we are faced with challenges, you have an option to give up. You have an option to throw in the towel. You have an option to just get frustrated and take a walk. We have those options. But it's not left to us. Our disposition to these things will determine how we will come out of it. Imagine the charcoal miles and miles beneath the earth's surface, going through that pressure and the heat, and then it comes to a point where he says, I don't do again, I'm tired, I'm done with this. Waiting. They say no, they finished 50 years ago, we were in this, 100 years, we are still here. When are we going to get to that point? Basically, sometimes when I see myself like that diamond, because I get to a point where I'm like, I'm tired. I'm tired. People that are close to me, that sometimes I get to that point where I'm like, I'm tired, I don't do again. God, have I not had my own fair share of wahala? Like, it's okay. But we don't actually determine how long we go through the fire. It is the blacksmith that determines the level of heat that the metal would have to go through to be purified. Yeah, so our disposition towards pain and challenges matters a lot. We should focus on the lessons. We should focus on the journey. We should focus on the diamond that the Lord is working out through us. When we focus on those things, He helps us to learn those lessons, just like David. David. You know, when David went to carry the Ark of Covenant, when Uzzah put forth his hand and then Uzzah died, that was one lesson that David learned. I believe if David had not learned that lesson, he would have gone ahead and built the temple. You know, when David had learned, you cannot be doing something for God, even though with your best of intention, it's with good heart, or, you know, with a good mind, you know, that kind of a thing. And then somebody now died. So he taught David that next time, if you want to do something for God, you need to make inquiry. Probably if David had not done that, maybe he would have been building and then the house would have collapsed. And then when he now goes back to God to ask, and God will be like, I didn't ask you to build. Your hands are stained with blood. You can't build. You know, so David had to learn from the experiences he went through. And it helped him to become the wonderful king that he became. And it helped him to become the king that we all love and we all talk about. Basically, what we're trying to say in this video is, please, when darkness covers the earth and gross darkness covers the people, that is when the Lord is rising upon his people and his glory will be seen upon you. That's why the Lord said, arise, shine, because your light is come. You know, you don't tell someone that is reason to rise. It's somebody that is either sleeping or in a sitting state or in a dormant state. That's why you say arise. So even God recognized the fact that his people were dormant, and that's why he said arise and shine. Even when gross darkness has covered the people, that is when you need to rise. So the cave of Adullam is a dark place. When you're going through that gross darkness, that is when the Lord is causing a rising to come forth within you. You need to look out for those areas. Most of the time, the pain that we go through, it serves as a pointer to the areas that the Lord would have us function, the areas that the Lord would have us shine. So we've come to the end of today's video. I hope this video has blessed you. I hope this video has encouraged you to let you know that pain where you feel it, you get reason, it gets why. You know, you will emerge as diamond. That diamond the Lord is working out in you, you would imagine it will be beautiful. You yourself, you could be like saying, now maybe this, like, I can't believe this. You know, when the Bible said, now when the Lord has turned away the captivity of Zion, you know, they will be like those that are in dreams. That is what it's going to be like for you. When the Lord has converted you from the shackle to the diamond, which he has seen from the beginning of the earth, and he told you, you know what he told you, just hold on to it. Go through that phase that you're going through and you'll come out victorious. Just hold on and don't give up. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and click the subscribe button. I beg, click the subscribe button. Yeah, thank you and bye bye.